How are you guys today? If you can hear me, see me, can you just put it in the chat just so I know everything's working right? Please and thank you. I'm waiting for some comments to come in so I know that you can, perfect, you can see me, fantastic, and hear me. Fantastic. How is everyone's second day going? I hope you're having a great second day. Hope you got to see some kids' faces. My name is Allison Schlofeld. I am the coordinator of digital integration here at South Bend Schools. This session is going to be extremely basic and extremely beginner's course. It is being recorded so that you can watch it anytime. And the slides will be available on the Canvas course. They probably already are, so they're there for you as well. If you see me look over, it's because I can see your comments over here, so I kind of try and keep tabs on that. So again, this is Beginner's Bootcamp. We're going to talk Google Meet, Google Slides, and Google Classroom. Bootcamp's kind of scary to me, so that's why we're actually taking it to summer camp, and that's why it's all going to be camping and not necessarily boot camp. So let's get started. Again, I'm Allison Schlofeld. I saw some of you have already been saying hello to me and chatting in the chat box, saying who you are, where you're from. Keep that coming. I would love to see who you guys are. I would love to meet you guys. I am definitely a secondary person. This is my first year. I've been in this position for two and a half weeks now. Before that, I was the digital integration specialist at Riley High School. And before that, I taught in an English classroom for roughly 5 years, an ESL down in Kendallville, Indiana at East Noble High School. So I am 100% secondary, but I am doing my best to learn the elementary ways, the elementary people. You guys are fantastic. You are a blessing. I could never do it, so bowing down to you hard. So hello, Alyssa, Sheila, I can see all your comments coming in. Fantastic. Like I said, we're going to talk Google Meet, Google Classroom, and Google Slides. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. We're going to get to all three, okay? I promise we'll get to all three of them. But put in the chat, number 1, if you want to start with Google Meet, number 2, if you want to start with Google Classroom, or number 3, if you want to start with Google Slides. It's up to you guys. You choose. Show me what you want to learn about. Yes, Riley Mom, go Wildcats. Oh, lots of 3s, some 1s. Lots of 1s now, yeah. We're about a 10-second delay on YouTube, so it takes a minute for your comments to get to me. Awesome. I'm seeing a lot of 1s. Again, I promise we will get to all 3. But we're going to start with number 1. So when you are in this presentation, you can just click on these, okay? And it'll take you directly to that part. So when creating a Google Meet, I'm going to kind of go through basics, and then I will go into the chat and answer any questions you have, okay? So Google Meet, you can create them a bunch of different ways. The easiest way for elementary is probably just going to be through your Google Classroom, right? Because our Google Classrooms auto-generate the same link every single day, every single time you want to meet. So the kids can then just click it and it'll take them right into it. That would be how I would create them as an elementary teacher. You can also create them in Gmail or through Calendar. So I'm happy to go over those routes as well. If anybody wants to see the calendar route. But for elementary, I think the easiest is probably going to be that already created link. It is supervised. The teacher has to get in first. Students cannot stay after the teacher to have side conversations. They cannot come in before the teacher. So all positive things. Joining a Google Meet, as a teacher, you can join using your Gmail. You can join on Calendar. You can join on Google Meet just by meet.google.com, or you can join on your phone if necessary. Everything we're talking about comes from this G Suite Learning, and that's linked down at the bottom. You can click on it and it will take you directly to that website. And all of this is on there as well if you need some extra support. So, customizing your video. I'm actually going to leave this screen in a minute and kind of show you inside of Google Meet. But the basics of Google Meet is that where it says people at the top, you can view everybody in it. You can view a chat. You can pin a person so that that's the only person you can see. You can remove people. As a teacher, you can also, it's really hard to see, and I'm sorry, but there's a little microphone here. You can mute them. And then there's this bottom row, and I'll show you when we get on a fake Meet that, like, it's kind of hard to see sometimes. You kind of have to move your mouse down there. So you can click on where it says team meeting and share your meeting with other people. You can mute your microphone, which we always like to ask that people do, especially students. You can leave the phone call. You can turn off your camera. You can present your screen, which I will show you as well. And then those three little dots have additional settings, such as like recording your Meet, changing layouts and things like that. So I'm going to exit my presentation, and I'm going to go to I'm going to start in Classroom to show you what this looks like. And I have been playing in Chase's class. Chase is our new elementary curriculum coordinator. It's like virtual coordinator, virtual student and professional learning, or lots of words. So I've been playing in his Google Classroom. So when you're in here, here's your Meet link, right? It is always there. It is always there for students. It is always there for teachers. You can click it and enter your Meet. Again, if the teacher is not already in it, this cute little message pops up over here that kind of looks just like this. It's like, you'll be able to join soon, so just hold on. And then it's gonna load for us. Okay, so this will come up and you can add people in case you need to add extra people. My microphone is already off. I know this looks funny right now. I have an extension that I need to remove, and then this should go away. So it's just colorful. Yours will not look like that. I'm very sorry. Over here is that same information. You can copy the joining code, send it to other people if you need parents in there or other teachers, etc. This button will not be there. I was trying out an extension. It was not good. It did not work. There's your mute button, your camera button, and exiting your call. You can turn on your closed captions, which is awesome for our accommodations and our students who need it to be read to. And it does pretty good. As you can see on the screen, it gets what I want for the most part. So that is always an option as well. You can present now. When you click present now, you need to choose which one of your screens you want to present. So you can present your entire screen, you can present just a window, or you can present a Chrome tab. Thanks. That was Chase. He's delivering me Pepsi. So it's easiest to do your entire screen because it's pretty simple I think it's easier to do it that way. Some people are like other things. So just make sure you click on that. I'm gonna choose a window. See, there's a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna share this one, and you're just gonna see a bunch of meets. But if I click on this, that's what my students see, right? They would see just the presentation. And then you can stop sharing, and we'll go back into Meet. if you click on these three buttons right here, we're using, for these professional learning, we're using StreamYard. There is a free option for StreamYard, so feel free to check it out. But we are using StreamYard. So these three dots in the bottom right corner is where you will go to click record meeting. Remember, we are asking everybody to record their meetings so that if students cannot attend your live sessions, they can watch them later. So when you click record meeting, it is going to remind you to ask for consent. Please remind students that if they do not want to be on screen, they do not have to be. They just need to turn off their camera. You will click accept after you tell them that. And in the upper left-hand corner, once the light turns red, we are recording. When I stop recording, it's going to send me my recording to my email, and it's going to go directly to my Google Drive as well, into a folder called Meet Recordings, I believe is what it automatically calls it. Then you will just upload that recording to your Google Classroom, and students can watch it whenever they want. To stop your recording, you go back to those three little lines, or three dots, I'm sorry, and click stop recording, and stop recording. Other things in here, your settings, full screen, changing layout. If there were more people in here, choosing that tiled layout. So this is one thing I want to talk about, is that I know the grid view that a lot of us used last year is kind of being funky right now. Some of the extensions are working, some of them aren't. Sometimes the Google grid view works, sometimes it doesn't. Just kind of hang tight. It just depends on the day. So try and figure out what works best for you, if an extension works best or if the inside Google works best. All options. So Lori, students can is there a way that they can still see when you're presenting? When you record it, it should show you, your face, if you choose to, in the bottom right corner of the screen. I believe it's supposed to do that. So Paul, right now, StreamYard, I am live on YouTube. It will process overnight, and then you'll be able to watch the same thing tomorrow on YouTube as well. Google Meet right now does not have breakout rooms, Sarah. However, I will tell you a little secret. We, as a district, we upgraded to Google Enterprise. It'll be coming in the next few weeks. And then Google just told us a couple nights ago that with Enterprise, we get breakout rooms coming in September or October, is what they say, along with a better tiled view and some other really special features that Google Meet just gives to their enterprise users. So those are coming, I promise. Google tells me so. We're just kind of waiting on them. So this program right here, Paul, is called StreamYard. So that is Google Meet. I'm going to end this call and go back to my presentation. Any other questions on Google Meet? Again, there is a lag, so I'm going to wait a minute to see if any questions come in. I'm not seeing any. You guys are Meet experts already. Have you guys been using Meet with your students these past 2 days? Has it been? What do you do when it all freezes? Oof. Okay, so Pamela, before you started Google Meet, I'm going to tell you every single day, I would restart my computer. There are a bunch of updates coming through right now. So I would restart my computer, go up to the Apple in the top left corner, and hit restart. Make sure you do that every day so that it updates. That should help the freeze. If it doesn't, we can put in a ticket to IT or to Google and see. So keep me posted. Yes, Alyssa Gavin, that's a great idea. You can put in the chat, log out, and that same link, right? The same link in Google Classroom will allow them to join. The program I was using to record the Google Meet, Paul, is just Google Meet. The Google Meet just does it for me. Tammy, I don't believe that when you are presenting, you can still see your students. I think you can only see the screen you're presenting. You could always do like kind of a side-by-side, split your screen in half. That's always an option. Yes, Judy, if you shut down, it will restart. I do not customize my settings for each meet, Paul. Sometimes you have to change the layout for each meeting because sometimes there's only a couple people and sometimes you want tiled. So that could be a reason. Oh, yeah, Pamela, that's a good idea. You can make it visible at all times if you want to because they can't get in unless you're in. So, but that's up to you. I did not know you could make it visible and not visible. So I learned something new today. I am wondering if Google Meet is just kind of trying to get back to capacity. So if there are these little errors, I'm sure Google is working them out, and so are we. So flexibility, patience, grace, you're going to hear me say it a ton. All right, we're going to hit this tent, go back to the beginning. If you want to talk Google Classroom, type in 2. If you want to talk Google Slides, type in a 3. Again, we're going to get to both, I promise. But what do you want to learn about next? Cool. Good to know, Erica. Well, oh, you guys are even. There's like 3 2s and 3 3s right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's some 2s. I did see the question about how would you do side by side. When you click present in Google Meet, you can say that you want to present a tab, and you can pull that tab, have its own tab over here, and then put the Meet on this side and have them next to each other. I don't know if I can show you on this, but we are happy if you reach out to Chase or I. We're happy to do a second, like a Google Meet with you and show you how to do that. Okay, we're going to do 2 because I see a lot of 2s. I promise we'll get to 3. All right, so what I'm about to show you, Google Classroom, everything comes from Ditch That Textbook. Ditch That Textbook is Matt Miller. He is an Indiana person. Fantastic. Okay, so if you click this image, it's going to take you to this blog post about everything I'm about to show you when it loads. So it will show you how to set up classes, how to add people, your class codes. Okay, everything is in here. So I'm going to just show you how to do all that in Chase's class. As you can see, Chase made a lovely Bitmoji classroom background for his banner. If you want to learn how to do that, reach out to Chase. So this is what it really starts like this, right? It shows you all your classrooms. So we're going to use Chase's. Your stream is like your Facebook wall. It's good for announcements. It's good to post things you want your entire class to see. Okay, and it will automatically show new things you've done. The first thing I would do is go up here to this settings, this gear, and scroll down until it says classwork on the stream. Well, this stream, I'm sorry, where it says stream, and change that to only teachers can post or comment. because you don't want students having their own conversations on your stream. Okay, so I would definitely do that, and then you'll hit save. So again, your stream is good for just quick announcements. Your class code is up here, your Meet link. You can select a theme or upload. They have some for you, or you can make your own. So then next is your classwork tab. This is where all your work is going to be. And this is where you click the create button. An assignment is good for if you have students that you want them to turn something in. That's where the assignment is good for. A quiz assignment is just that. It's a place where they would take a formative or a quiz or a test. The question is just really basic questions that you want your whole class to complete. I know that a gym teacher at Riley used this as their attendance. Vince D'Addario used this as their attendance every single day. So they would ask social emotional learning questions like, what is your favorite season? Or what's your favorite cookie? Or how are you today? And it easily shows you what students answered and who didn't, and that was their attendance for the day. Material is really great for things that you don't want students to interact with, or you don't want students to have to turn something in. It's good for slideshows or video lessons, things like that. You can also reuse your posts, and you can create topics which are kind of just easier to, like practice makes perfect. That's a topic. So it's just a way to organize your work. So I'm going to show you an example. If I'm going to create an assignment, and I can title it test assignment. And if I add something from my Google Drive, you can add a link or a file or a YouTube video. But if I add a Google Drive, it's going to think for a while. And I'm going to add this same presentation that we're all looking at, okay? But if you want to do one of your Meet recordings, those will be in there too. This is where students can view a file if you just want them to view it, if you just want them to go through your presentation. Students can edit the file. If you teach your students or have an activity where each student gets a different slide to complete, that would be awesome for them. Or you can make a copy for each student, which will say if you create some sort of hyperdoc or any kind of lesson and you want each student to do their own, that's what you would click there, and Google automatically makes it for you. It's great. So you would choose that. You would fill out all of this based on when you want it to be due. You can do rubrics, your points, etc. And you would click assign. And then it'll pop up, test assignment. You can also delete your assignments or edit them. And you can also move them around. You can like drag them around if you want them to go somewhere else. You can also see that the Google Calendar link is up here for your students. It'll show them everything that they have due for your class. There's also a class drive folder. And when you have a Meet link visible, apparently, I learned that today, there'll be a Meet link here. So under people, that's your next one, you have teachers and students. To add a student, you will click here on invite students, and you can type their name or their email, and you can invite them. And then it'll come up. So I know that the district did attempt to auto roster us this year for ease of access, and I know some of them didn't work out or they weren't correct. So if you need to add your students, that's how you do it. And if you have a drop student or a student who is no longer in your course, you can click on them and remove them. So that's how you can edit your class. Yes, Judy is correct. You can also choose your date and or time for the lesson to be posted in case you want to do like a week-long thing or do all your stuff on Sunday and have it be live at different times. Lastly, underneath the grades tab, I don't have students, so I don't have any. We'll show all your grades. This is where I want to remind you that our official gradebook is PowerSchool. So if you do choose to grade in Google Classroom, I would make it very known to the students and the teachers that Google Classroom is not our official gradebook. Their official grades are in PowerSchool. So you do have to move them over if you choose to grade in both. So Susan, I can talk about accommodations. Do you have a certain accommodation you want me to talk about, or just in general? You can create assignments. I'm going to edit. You can create assignments that go to all students or specific students. I don't have specific students, so if I had wanted only certain students, so whether it be those students with IEPs to have a different assignment or a different version, they would be listed down here. And I could click on just those students who need the accommodated version and assign an accommodated version to them, and then all the other students a different version. Is that what you wanted me to show, Susan, or did you have something else in mind? Just let me know in the chat, please. I want to make sure I cover it. Michelle, can you automatically make them go directly to the top of classwork automatically? So when I create a topic, test topic, add. So if you don't have stuff in the topic, it's always going to be at the top. But yeah, you kind of have to drag it if you want it to go above those. I don't even know if it will be. Yeah, see, it didn't even do it because these don't have a topic, but I can drag these into the different topics. What other questions do you have about Google Classroom? Oh, one thing that was being asked was if you click on classes over here, you're going to see all of yours. If you want to archive a classroom, you can click on these three little dots. If you, for example, if you have a classroom from last year, and you can click archive. And then it will ask you to archive. And I'm going to say no. But another thing that is possible is to find your archived classrooms again. You would go to archived classes, and this is where they are all going to be. I can either move them or I can copy it. So if I have a course from last year that I want to kind of just duplicate, I can copy the course and it'll make the same course again, which is kind of nice. Can I request, just on a personal side note, the YouTube video or the video from Deb Haycox, can I have that emailed to me? I just want it. I want to learn. So if somebody wants to email that to me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Any other questions on Google Classroom? Gonna wait a few seconds. Thank you, Valerie. All right, it doesn't, oh. Emily, I think you have to copy the whole course and then kind of like delete the things you don't want. I don't think you can do just a topic. Oh, good idea, Holly. If the video is available, can we just get it in the chat for everybody? Wendy, are you talking about in a Google Meet? If you do a small group, or are you talking about in the actual classroom? Like inside Google Classroom? All right, while those questions come in, I'm gonna hit my tent and we're gonna go talk about some Google Slides. That's all that's left. So on Google Slides, again, this is a super basic beginners session. If you wanna know more about Google Classroom, there are sessions tomorrow with Caroline Fletcher. She is phenomenal at Google Classroom. And there will also be a slides one tomorrow with Holly Swartz and Mary Swope. So attend those if you want to get better, learn more on those two topics. Those are the elementary sessions. Secondary, if you're watching this, they're completely different. Same sessions, just different people. So when you go to Google Slides, you can start by just doing slides.google.com. It's going to bring it up so you can just make a brand new one. There are a ton of templates out there, and they show you a bunch up here. You can choose those. There's also other template websites like Slidesmania. There's a bunch of other ones. So if you want templates and stuff, they are in there. So if I click a blank one, you will see that at the top of my slides, just like on here, I have a toolbar where I can add a new slide. I can select an item. I can add a text box, an image, a shape, a line. I can change colors. I can change the border, the color of the border, the width of the border, the style of the border. I can add links and comments, bullets, things like that. Everything is up there in that toolbox. I can create a new slide. So I'm kind of just going to show you guys these. I'm going to open this one so that I can show you just right in here. If I want to create a new slide, I have these templates in here for me. You can choose those. You don't have to. I can make a new slide. I can right click and delete that slide. I can copy a slide. Well, duplicate it. If I click duplicate, it's going to give me the same exact slide twice. This is awesome for those assignments that I talked about where you may want to create, I did a lot of like vocab. So like I would give all my students a different tile and we would make like Nationwide, you know, the Nationwide song about our vocab. So I would create my template and then just duplicate it 30 times for every kid in my class. So you can duplicate slides. Again, you can delete them. You can move them around just by dragging them. We talked about duplicating. You can import slides if you, so you can import slides if you have previous presentations. You can make a copy by going to File, Make a Copy. And you can choose Selected Slides or Entire Presentation. You can email your slides. You can see the version history so that if you are doing a class collaboration and somebody does something to someone else's slide, you can see who did it. And you can publish it to the web. That's not a huge thing, not really necessary. So one of the big parts about Google Slides is that you can share it, right? So the difference between sharing is that if you make somebody an editor, and this is super important, if I go up here to share because I want to collaborate with my students or other teachers, if I make somebody an editor, they can do whatever they want, right? They can move things around, add things, delete the whole file, etc. If I make them a viewer, they cannot do anything except view it. This is what I would use if I had just presentations that I wanted my students to view or see and not edit at all. You can also make them a commenter where they can just simply add comments. If you have an idea of a lesson plan and you want to share it with a colleague and you want to get their feedback, this is an awesome way to do that. So this table just shows you what they can do. To add a comment, it's up here in the right next to the present button, and they can add a comment, whatever they want. Hopefully nice things. You can also collaborate, just like we talked about. I was ahead of myself on that one. You can comment, share, insert. So Google Slides, fun stuff, fun ways to collaborate with both your colleagues and your students. It's nice if you guys are all working on the same kind of lesson and you spread the wealth, spread the work, and then you all come back together. We do that a lot as a team here. We will be working on slides and each kind of have a topic to work on, and then it comes together into a full presentation. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go over and answer some questions. Bruce, what kind of textbooks are you talking about? Like digital textbooks? What textbooks do you use? Wendy, Google Classroom. Everybody will be in the gen ed class, unless like the TOR has their own. Yes, Alyssa, you can only post to only certain students and not the whole class. That is correct. How do you insert a slide you find you want to use and be able to have students input info? So if I would just copy the slide that I want and then paste it into my new slides. For example, I don't have it up right now. I can go into, you guys are gonna get a sneak peek at a presentation for tomorrow. I can go into another presentation. This is our presentation for tomorrow. So sneak peek, if it loads. And I can copy this lovely slide off to the left when it loads. And I just right click and I click copy. And then I go back to the slide deck that I want it to go into. And I right click again and I paste it. And then it pops up. Usually it pops up, oh, there you go. You can click match styles or keep original styles. There you go. And then it just pops right in. And your students can type on that. Bruce, I would reach out to, what are you trying to, your Pearson textbook should be up now. I think they synced last night. So you can always call technology services or reach out to me. You can email me and I can look into that for you as well. So, questions on any of them. You can ask questions on Google Meet, Google Slides, or Google Classroom. I'm just going to answer some questions. While I wait for some questions, I will tell you that in the presentation, If you want to learn more, you can click on these badges and they will take you to our South Bend badging system. It'll teach you a little bit more about these, give you some extra support if you need it, step-by-step guides, etc. Once you complete it, you do receive this cute little badge in a digital format, and then you're an expert. So learn more, claim your badge. That's my Girl Scout vest because, again, boot camp's scary, so we're just going to summer camp. All right, I'm back to questions, and I'm not seeing any, so I don't know if I'm lagging or if you guys just asked your questions along the way. All right, so I'm not seeing any questions, and I'm sorry if it's lagging really bad. Thank you guys. Okay, so I'm seeing thank you. So hopefully that means we're good to go. Have a great school year. You guys are going to do fantastic. My motto, my mantra is to be patient, to be flexible, and have grace. Have grace with yourself, have grace with your students, and have grace with their parents. We are all in this. Those are what I'm going with this. Those are my three, right? I'm trying to be patient, I'm trying to be flexible, and I'm trying to give myself grace and give you all grace and everybody grace at this point. So have a great school year. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for a great session. Have a great day.